What you see before you now might be the most counterintuitive phone Huawei has ever made, and it's also this year's first Chinese Air model, the Huawei Mate 70 Air. That's right, this Huawei Mate 70 Air is so thin it can be hidden behind a pen. Looking at it from the front, you would never realize that there is a phone with a 7-inch screen inside. This time, Huawei has managed to get its weight down to 208 grams, and its thickness is a mere 6.6 millimeters. This number might not sound very intuitive, so let me give you a comparison. This is the ice cream stick I just bought, and over here is the Huawei Mate 70 Air. This is what they look like side by side. Let's replace the one on the left with a French fry. This is what they look like compared. Now I'll switch it to a strand of spaghetti. That's right, its thickness is about the same as 3 strands of spaghetti. Now you can understand what kind of game-changing reduction this is. If you look closely at the buttons on its frame, you'll also notice that its middle frame is almost as narrow as its buttons. This thickness is truly astounding. And to achieve this, Huawei did not resort to using an eSIM to reduce the thickness. It still has a card slot for a physical phone card. Of course, the magic of the Huawei Mate 70 Air isn't limited to being thin and light. I also didn't expect that after getting my hands on it, the thing that caught my attention the most was this 7-inch Huawei large screen. On this phone, after the Pure X, Huawei has created a brand new screen aspect ratio, 18.8 by 9. You'll find that compared to most phone screens on the market today, it's a tiny bit wider horizontally, but it's precisely this little bit that makes the experience different in actual use. When playing PUBG, you get an extra bit of field of view here. When you encounter sneaky players hiding in corners, you can spot them instantly. You can't even call it an advantage. It's practically a physical cheat, comparable to using a computer emulator. And if you listen carefully to its game audio, you'll also find that in such a thin body, they've included dual speakers, so it won't affect your ability to locate enemies by sound during normal gameplay. I really have to praise Huawei's space utilization. When browsing on vertical video platforms like TikTok, it can achieve a truly full-screen immersion. There will no longer be black bars at the top, and the content can fill the entire screen. This width can also be quite helpful for office work. On the same page of a Word document, it can display several more lines than an ordinary phone. Moreover, the Huawei Mate 70 Air also supports the Huawei M Pen 3 stylus. In terms of camera, the ultra-large sensor main camera combined with Huawei's signature original color imaging ensures that the image's color, brightness, details, light transitions, and clarity are not compromised by the phone's thinness. Paired with Huawei's various interesting AI imaging features, being thin and getting great shots can coexist. Look at this photo of a windmill. The colors are captured very realistically and richly. Even the details of the scratches on the windmill's surface can be captured clearly, and here are the surfaces of these buildings under the sunset. The transition between light and shadow is also very natural. Overall, it's a very satisfying shooting experience. The phone's chip is the Kirin 9020B. The system is HarmonyOS 5.1 right out of the box. Relying on the Arc Engine technology makes the phone's daily operation and use smoother. In terms of privacy and security management and multi-device connectivity for the whole family, it also has unique new technologies, and as the HarmonyOS ecosystem continues to mature, I believe the upper limit of its functions and performance will be further raised. It gets better the more you use it. Of course, what I find most terrifying is its battery, 6,500 milliampere hours. It might be only a millimeter thicker than an iPhone Air, but its battery capacity is more than double that of Apple's, and it also supports 66-watt fast charging. In terms of thickness, it's an Air, but in terms of battery life, it's a Pro Max. So after actually using it, I also found this Huawei Mate 70 Air to be much more enjoyable to use than I had previously imagined. Alright, that's it for this video. We'll see you in the next one.